We'll know more after the skate today. We'll see how things go. About half the guys are skating today. The injured guys will be out there, so I'll have more. I'll get an update after the skate. I don't have an answer right now about that. But it's a good sign that they're out there skating.
Is anybody ruled out?
It's a good question. There might be one or two that are ruled out. Kostelik's, he's not going to be ready to play tomorrow, I don't think. But we'll see. I'll get more information today after the skate today. I'll get updated after those guys skate today.
Is there anything to glean from the first meeting with Winnipeg?
Anything?
Anything to glean from that, or is it a strong?
There was one period, I think. And then after that, you probably want to toss it in the garbage. But what you learn from is that they're a good hockey team because of the way they play consistently for 60 minutes every night. That's why they are where they're at in the standings. They're committed to their game plan. They do a really good job checking. They keep scores low. And they've seemed to obviously found two guys that found their scoring touch. They're scorers anyway, but two guys in Scheifele and Connor that are scoring at a high rate right now. So they have some weapons offensively. But the biggest thing to me when I watched them is they're a very good team. They play very well team hockey. They play good team hockey. They're structured. And they don't give you a lot. And their goaltender's playing well too.
The third goal last night, the Turco one that went, I love.
Yeah.
What do you think you guys could have done to prevent that change?
Well, I want to try to move on from last night. We've talked about things with our group this morning. I'll just give you a quick answer on that one. Is we're too passive in the neutral zone. That's where it starts for us as a staff, and we talked about that with our group this morning. We have forwards right now that are getting too passive in the neutral zone. They're backing off. They're backing our D off right now. So we need to be more aggressive up ice. We need to do a better job checking up ice, whether it be in the forecheck or in the neutral zone.
Okay. And then on that play, when he's going down the wall, do you want Pete to release off the middle drive and go to him, or should that be Patrick's guy on the wall?
Yeah, that's he's gapped out there. Pete's gapped out there because our forwards pushed him back. If he has a better gap, he could challenge and contest that play at the blue line, but we don't want him stabbing up in that situation. We'd rather have the forward go.
What is just the overall mindset coming out of last night? Just looking at the quick turn and the best of the West waiting for you next?
I think with our group right now, it's just about shifting our focus to Winnipeg. We addressed some things this morning that we needed to with our group as far as the game last night, corrected some of the things that we always do. Our routine hasn't changed, and I think that I've said this before, our responses have been good. I would expect the same thing tomorrow night. This team certainly will grab our attention with good reason, like I just mentioned, and I would expect our guys to shift their focus and be ready to be dialed in right from the start with good details and good habits.
Were the things that you addressed technical X's and O's things, or was it?
It was both. It was both. Yeah. Both.
Sorry,
No? Okay.
It seems like consistency has maybe just been hard to come by. How do you maybe just find your groove a little bit where you're not in a position where you feel like you're constantly needing to bounce back from a tough game?
Yeah, especially on the road. I find it more inconsistent on the road right now than at home. Our record indicates that, obviously. So, but again, last night it's 1-1 after the first period. Pretty good first period. Both teams had some opportunities. And then the second period, it kind of gets away from us a little bit. We still had chances in the second period to make it 3-1. It's just a matter of sticking with it. Talked about this the other day. We got to stay with it on the road just like we do at home. But finding that consistency, that's something that we have to do as a group. Right, we have to find consistency in our game for 60 minutes. There's always going to be momentum shifts during the course of a game. Teams are going to have momentum, we're going to have momentum, but it's about how you can grab it back as quick as you can without letting it get extended too much.
On that topic, both times you score last night, get one up less than a minute later. Is there any common trend when you give up those goals right after scoring?
No, well, one of them, I just look off the top of my head, the 4-2. We make it 4-2. We get ourselves a power play goal. We're right back in the game. There's about 9.5 minutes left in the third. Feeling pretty good now. We have an opportunity. We're 2 down. And, we don't execute a play. We get the puck at the blue line. We have to understand that puck needs to go in. We have to get it behind their forecheck and play behind them. And we had success last night when we did that. And we didn't do that. And that's where it cost us. There's one mistake there at the blue line. And then there's another one, defending coming into our D zone. So, but we have to understand the importance of those type of shifts after a goal, whether they score or we score. And I give them credit. They responded well after we did last night. And we have to do a better job of not letting them respond.
As you said, that you guys have responded from losses like last night pretty well, but as those kind of losses pile up, do you get concerned that those losses will take a bite out of the team's belief in itself?
I don't think so. No, I think our team believes in it, believes in what we're doing. They believe in the process that when they execute it at a high level, it works. They've known it. They've talked about it. They understand that. So those games, sometimes, obviously, you don't want to see those games. Like you said, they've happened a couple more times than we'd like. But no, I think there's a strong belief system in the room that, we're capable of not letting that happen when we need it to really stop the bleeding or whatever it is. We've got to do a better job there. But I still believe that the group has a strong belief system.
Is there a lean on goalie for tomorrow?
I'm not leaning anywhere right now, just yet.
Is there a balance between?
Or we're not, I should say. Not just me, we're not.
Is there a balance between having the right urgency that you need, given where the situation is right now, and at the same time, not letting the pressure negatively affect people?
Yeah, I think that everyone understands the situation, right? There's 52 games played, 30 left. We're right in the mix of things. We're still in a pretty good spot as far as that goes. But there's still the runway is, depending on how you want to look at it, the runway, right? There's 30 games left. That's a lot. Sometimes other people can say, well, it's not that much, right? You have a couple of teams behind you that maybe have played a few less games than you. But our guys understand the situation, but that you can't look down the road. We just cannot do that. Like the process for us has to be obviously Winnipeg tomorrow, and that's where it stands. It's cliche, but it's true. I mean, if we focus on our process tomorrow, typically the end result, the score will take care of itself the right way more often than not, and that's how we approach it. We don't look at it down the road like, okay, we got 30 games, we have to do this in 30 games, right? We're just trying to slow it down a little bit and take it one at a time.
Or anything?
I hope not. This is a different injury, so the day I got shut down, I've been skating every day since. So conditioning wise, I should feel pretty good. Timing wise, should be decent. Obviously, it's never fun to miss time, but it's definitely better when you can skate. So that was nice this time around.
Sorry, I came in late there. You said your status for tomorrow was what?
Pre-game skate in the morning with the guys, and then go from there.
Watching last night's game, I know it's tough to watch that when that kind of game happens, but do you feel like if you and Hampus get in tomorrow, maybe Brandon, that can inject some needed life?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely what we're hoping for, and it can. Whenever you're not full strength, you sort of have in the back of your mind, you don't want to focus on it. And obviously, it's the next man up, But it's just reality when a team is, shorthanded a little bit, it doesn't help anything. So, I'm excited to get back, and I know Lindy's the same way, and whatever we can do to get back and help the team. Obviously, we're in a spot where every single game matters. So, the sooner we can be at full strength, the better.
You got the best of the West next there. So just how big of a game is this one?
Yeah, it's big. It's big. I mean, you got to approach every game the same. They're all 2 points, and you got to respect every opponent in this league, and you see that yesterday. So it's a great challenge. Anytime you can play against the best, it would be a lot. It would be pretty meaningful, for us to put our best foot forward tomorrow and play a good game, and if we can come away with a win, that'll be big.
This team's been on a roll at home, but not so much on the road. What is the biggest challenge in this league to playing on the road?
To playing on the road, you just got to get off to a good start. That's always the biggest thing, I think. Is that if you can get to your game first without getting their crowd involved, that's usually a recipe for success. Between home and away, nothing changes. You got to play your game, and you got to play well. So, in my mind, there's not too much that differs from home and away besides the last change. Other than that, you got to show up and be ready to play regardless.
Just like I was saying earlier, that you can look at 30 games as there's a lot of runway left or there isn't. How do you guys look at sort of what is left and what you still need to accomplish to get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of a half, glass full type thing. Like I said, every single game is important. There's 2 points on the line every night. So I think if you look at it that way, you can find excitement in it and joy instead of seeing maybe an ending to the runway or whatever. Like every game's important. In this league, there's nothing better than playoff hockey. That's always the goal. Well, it feels like maybe you get a little bit of playoff hockey in the regular season now, which is something different that this group really hasn't had to stress very much. In years past, we've always had a pretty secure lead and knew where we were and how we do. So this is different for us, and I think if we can find consistency and approach it the right way, this could be something that ends up giving us an edge.
And having that full complement of players, in building that consistency, when you sort of maybe get to a point where you know who's going to be on the ice every night, how much does that impact both obviously the on the ice product, but also just sort of the mental way that the team approaches these games?
Yeah, just like I touched on, like being at full strength is just so meaningful for the team. You're putting your best foot forward, and that's not to say that who's been in and out every single night hasn't done a great job, because we have, and we're in a good spot. But you sort of envision a team or a roster when you're coming into the year, and whenever injuries happen, you lose someone. So like Lindy's been like that for us, on the back end, and especially us being a defensive team, and he's someone who can help drive it too. And offensively, where we could definitely use to get some more going, some more juice. So whenever he gets back, it'll be big for us, and obviously I'm hoping to get back very soon.
I don't think tomorrow. I'll take it day by day here. It's been a long time since I played, so you just want to make sure when I get out there I can really make a difference for the team. And it's as frustrating it is being sidelined. It's just the way it is. It's easy to also rush things, but coming back and not be able to play to the standard that I hold myself, it's not going to be worth it. So I try to really push myself right now and get back to that level I know I can be at.
How realistic is Saturday then?
I don't know. I take it day by day here, and like I said, I don't know. I want to be smart. Obviously, we have the break coming up, so it's like we have a few games. I take it day by day how it feels, but it's still, like I said, I focus more on being really smart. I want to play a long time, and coming back 2 games too early or 2 games too late, feeling better. It's probably smarter sometimes, being a little cautious, but it's been healing well, and I feel better and better for each day. So that's the way I try to look at it. Take one day at a time, try to find ways to improve for the next day, and then we'll see where I'll be at.
So does that mean it's realistic that you could not come back until after Four Nations?
Like I said, I try to focus on how it feels tomorrow and get better, and it's really hard to plan those things ahead. It's your body is your tool when you're in the industry we're at, so you try to take as good care of it as you can, because when you get back out there, it's full speed right away, and I hold myself to a certain level, like I told you guys, and look forward to being out there with the guys. And it's really tough being sidelined, but I think they're good job so far. Obviously, tough one last night, but we bounced back before, and it's a long stretch here to playoffs.
How tough was it to watch last night?
Yeah, I know. I don't think when you sideline, it's one of the toughest things is watching your own teammates being out there and fighting and doing all they can to win games, and especially when you feel you can be out there helping out. It's frustrating, but it's part of the process. It's part of being injured, and like I said, I can't let that get to me. I try to focus on what I can do best to be the best possible version of myself when I get back out there and make a difference.
So is the skating the biggest concern right now for you, or?
Yeah, obviously getting back up to speed and how it's feeling. It's out there, that's kind of what you're building up the muscle that you kind of lost over the period you couldn't do the stuff that you've been doing daily for a full year. So it's a process, but we have some really good staff here, and I'm fortunate to have great people around me to look after me and give me the best advice here and what's going to be best for me and the team.